Business Brain, episode 508 for Wednesday, December 13th, 2023. Greetings, folks, and welcome to Business Brain, the show where we take several ideas each episode, we crunch them, we dissect them, we use them so that we can collectively tune our business brains together and keep on living those charmed lives. Sponsors for this episode include Miro.com/podcast. That's the link you're going to go to get your first 3 Miro boards for free forever. And we'll talk about what those are and why you want to do that in a little bit. For now, here in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton.
And I'm still out here in Lafayette, California. I'm Shannon Jean. How are you, man?
I'm good. Today has been I say today has been mayhem. We record this late in the afternoon, my time. The last 24 hours have been mayhem. We brought 3 new shows on to Backbeat Media recently, and yesterday was the day that I sent an announcement out to a lot of our media partners. I'd kind of mentioned them piecemeal here and there, but it was time to just make sure all the media buyers at all of our media partners and agencies had all of that stuff, and the details on the shows and everything. Sure. It's like, let me do this all at once. I made what I now know is the decision. I was going to call it a mistake. I don't know that it was a mistake because it was very effective, but I did this at like 6:30 p.m. my time last night.
Okay.
And then I left my desk for the day thinking that I was like wrapping up work for the day.
Sure.
Yeah, no. I wound up like all evening and all morning and all day. I've been transacted by people who are wanting to include them on. Yeah, no, it's all really good.
Problem to have, yeah.
Yeah, it's not it, but it was just surprising to me. It's been a fairly slow Q4, although I will say the last week or so has seen a lot of things picking up for, Q1 buys. They're happening later this year than they typically would. So people are actively working on these proposals, and then to get these new things on their desk, they were all like, great, can I get this show on these 4 proposals? And so I was like, all right, let me find these podcasters and ask them if they'll approve these sponsors. And like, it was never ending. I mean, I went to sleep, but it didn't really change anything. Eventually went to sleep. So it's been, but that's great, right?
Yeah,
like
that's good.
That's good news.
Well, and as you had some things in front of you getting to the studio and getting things to start the show today, and we started talking offline here about what gets in your way to succeed. And I like your comment. It's like, it's usually not big things that stop you, but it's often stacks of smaller things that get in your way that you got to overcome, right?
Yeah, and I think that's true. Like the little things are more important than the big things. In that it also, like, in terms of like growth of a business too. It's all the little things that you do that help you grow. It's rarely, sometimes certainly it's one big monumental thing that you do, but most of the time it's the little things. But yeah, all the stuff that gets in the way. It's like I was trying to do something before we got together here, and really just reconciling some bank statements. Like that was it. That was the project.
That's a nightmare. Yeah.
But it's
got to be done.
The thing is, I tell myself that it's a nightmare every time. Yeah. It turns out it really isn't. It's a fairly straightforward process, and it's very routine, and it always takes less time than I've convinced myself it's going to take, and I'll procrastinate it anyway. Well, today was the one time that proves all of my prior procrastinations true. Like, because as soon as I started, it took me a half hour to re-log into all the banks for whatever reason. Everybody needed the new stuff, and this was here and that was here. And it's like, I just freaking want to log in. Like, why are we doing this? But I had to, in order to download everything into QuickBooks. I got to, be able to log into the banks and slurp it all in. It's like, no, you got to re-authenticate this and re-authenticate that and re-authenticate this. And it's the little things that add up and slow you down. Yeah.
And I think we often make, that mountain out of molehill type thing. You make it seem, I was reading something this morning where it's like the 2 most important parts of your day would be, this is the make your bed concept, right? It's
Yeah.
get out of bed when you say you're going to get out of bed. And then the second one was slay your dragons first thing, which is the
Yes.
stuff you've thought about. Maybe it kept you up at night. But I agree that little things get in your way of, what can you get done?
Yes.
What's your plan? And I count myself fortunate that I have a very fluid schedule, so I'm able to kind of maneuver and swim to what I want to do.
Yeah.
Which is not often, well, sometimes not what I should be doing.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But the little stuff and getting things done, we were having some technical issues and everything. But yeah, what's in your way? I mean, let us know what you guys find out is, in your way. Feedback@businessbrain.show, so we can talk about it and slay those dragons.
All right. Imagine designing a product that not only users adore, but also makes you fall in love with the creative process. This is where our sponsor Miro steps in, transforming your design journey into a connected, collaborative adventure. Picture this. Miro's visual platform becomes your playground to build that essential product. It's where your ideas take shape, incorporating key user needs every step of the way. Get real-time feedback, understand what clicks and what doesn't, and iterate rapidly. Miro is your go-to workspace for continuous improvement. Now, think about brainstorming with your team, gathering valuable feedback, and creating product experiences with a sprinkle of magic. All of this is possible in Miro. Make your findings visual and easy to grasp. Centralize your research on a single Miro board, creating a hub for your team to connect, discuss, and build comprehensive presentations. With Miro, customer perspectives are no longer a puzzle. Use hundreds of templates, including journey maps, to lead discussions and brainstorm improvements. Miro's infinite canvas is your realm to explore user needs and innovations. What's more, gather inspiration effortlessly. Drop images, GIFs, videos, and even audio on your board. Miro makes building lo-fi wireframes a breeze, offering a collaborative space to shape early concepts swiftly. And the best part, you can critique and refine designs in one shared space. Leave feedback asynchronously, ensuring everyone's voice is heard. And guess what? Your first 3 Miro boards are free forever when you sign up. Don't wait. Bring your ideas to life. Sign up today at Miro.com/podcast. Again, Miro.com/podcast. And our thanks to Miro for sponsoring this episode. All right. So, before I go back to reconciling bank statements, Shannon, and finding out where this $10...
We're going to do that online.
Oh, yeah. We're going to live stream this. That's right. Before I do that, you had brought up this concept a couple of weeks ago to me of noble causes.
Yeah.
And having one for your business and for your brand, it's an interesting thing. I'm curious. It seemed like something that you had dug into a little bit. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, I've done this before, like with our repair businesses. I would always explain to new employees, and then I would remind, our current staff that what you were doing was far more important than just repairing somebody's computer or their phone or whatever, because you have to look beyond that and how it impacts their life. And so I always, would say, hey, and it was on every computer, it was in posters throughout the office. It was like, we're changing the world one repair at a time. Whether you're working for some kid that's got to do it for homework, or you're a college student that's got something due, or a business owner that can't run their business without their computer. That was our constant mantra, and to motivate yourself. And I follow a guy on the X platform who I recommend you follow too, Michael Girdley. Fascinating guy, very successful. He's got a bunch of different businesses. He's got a great sense of humor. And he made a comment that reminded me of this concept that when things get tough, you think about what your noble cause is. It's something that's beyond what you do every day, right?
Yeah.
Just remind yourself, it's not just because you gotta, we all want to be something greater than our day-to-day, grunt work grind. And this noble cause concept is great. And he describes it really well. We'll link this, his post at businessbrain.show for you to go read it. The purpose that's bigger than yourself in your business. And he has some great examples, really simple stuff. We help people get jobs that change their life, help customers get home earlier to their families. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Enable business owners to retire earlier. This is kind of the story concept too that I always am harping on, where like if you're in the HVAC business, you're not, you don't talk about fixing AC units and heaters. Talk about how you protect, make people more comfortable and keep them warm during crazy storms and all that kind of stuff. This is the same thing. We create memories of a lifetime for people, video clip that he talks about in this post.
This noble cause, this could be, if you're having trouble getting started with telling your story for your business, this could be another entry point to that, right? Because it is all sort of part of the same narrative, if you will, where you're telling a story not about, well, to take your repairs business that you used to have kind of as the example. Well, we use screwdrivers and we open up things like, yes, that's technically correct. It's accurate, but it's not interesting unless you're talking to an audience that's interested in that.
If you're talking to a bunch of geeks that want to learn about repairs,
totally different.
We did YouTube videos for those folks, and it was super technical and all that kind of stuff. But if you're talking about your company to a bank or to whoever, clients, prospective employees, to just say, we fix computers. Well, you're just really underselling yourself, your business, your employees that work super hard. You think about this, your noble cause, and don't just say, we fix computers. This is because you don't. You do way, way more than that.
Yeah.
And when people smile and you see the impact, and I never let our employees go up and talk to people at any of our locations unless they were wearing like a lab coat and they look like a doctor. I said, you guys are just as important, man, because this is their digital life that you're repairing. And so
you're already like you speak in noble causes. You have trained your brain to do this, and it makes a lot of sense.
It's a trick,
of course.
And I'm motivating myself as you're motivating your employees, your customers, your banker. If you're asking for money, when you have that conversation with your banker, you want to talk in those grand things. Yes, your numbers have to show. Are you profitable? Are you making money? Are you a worthwhile investment?
I want to do a thing here with Shannon on this, some kind of real life business therapy. But before we do, I want to offer up but really, obviously, Shannon's services here. If you don't know what your business's noble cause is, email us at feedback@businessbrain.show, and we'll give you some ideas. You don't have to take them, but we'll give you some ideas.
Absolutely.
Now, what I want to do is I want to talk about, Shannon, what our noble cause is
I can tell you exactly what it is.
Bingo. That's what I'm going for.
I've been saying this for years, and it's also identifying your ideal customer.
Yep.
So when I think about this show, I came to you with the idea to start this show because I have sat in front of my computer late at night by myself, very lonely, thinking about I want to build something.
Yep.
And I don't know how to do it. And do I have the strength to do it? And being afraid, there's an edge of fear in there. Am I going to let my family down or this or that? And my concept or idea of the show is that we're going to lift that person up. We have lifted thousands of people. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. People listen to the show, and I want them to listen to it forever, and it be out there hopefully, right?
Yes, of course,
and find something that helps them take that next step, especially if you're on the fence and have not started the business yet, but you're thinking about doing it, and you've got a 9-to-5, which is great. You can have a noble cause there too, but you need that push, and you need that support, and we are your advisors.
Helping listeners take that next step in your entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah. kicking you off the edge of the bridge, man.
Well, I yes.
That's what it is, because it's hard and it's not always going to be exciting and fun and it's not
it's not a linear path.
No, it's not. It's up and down. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But our noble cause is to be here for you when you need it, when you want to learn something. And I can see it in the emails we get and the comments we get.
It fits.
I see it.
All right, so now help me. You've obviously thought about this. That's no great surprise. We do it together.
I've been thinking about it for 508 episodes.
Exactly. So now, what's my noble cause with one of my other podcasts with Mac Geek Gab? What and I'm happy to tell you. Yeah. I think I could come up with it, but I want to kind of workshop this here. And you're better at this thing than I am.
Well,
so
about better, but
we answer people's questions. It's one of the things. That's one of the primary things that we do. We share tips that either we or other listeners have found, right? So we say at the beginning of every episode, and I might be leading the witness here a little bit, but that's the whole point. We say at the beginning of the episode, the goal is that each of us learns at least 5 new things every time we get together. So what's our noble cause? Yeah.
I think because I don't know anything about the music business. I love music, but...
No, this is Mac Geek Gab.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Gig Gab.
No, if I said Gig Gab, I apologize. I meant Mac Geek Gab, the tech show.
You may not have said it.
Yeah, we're answering people's tech questions. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're an educational... show. It's like
absolutely.
Yeah, you're teaching the world how to solve problems. You're doing it 5 at a time. You're all these people that are coming to you because if you can't figure out technology now, you're in big trouble. And in the slightest things, and we take it for granted, people that have worked with technology for our careers. But I just had it the other day where somebody handed their phone and says, "I can't get this thing to do this," and I was like, "Well, that's like the easiest thing in the world," but that's because I've messed with it for 25 years.
Yeah, of course. I always say when we're doing this stuff, it's not rocket surgery. It's if you know the answer, it's easy.
Yes, correct. Yes. Just like a lot of this business stuff. So I would say your noble cause is to educate the world about how to, use your technology better and to achieve more with it.
Yeah. I love it. You're right. And I've never thought about it that way, in that broad of a way. It's accurate. I like this. No, this is like we're gonna take some version of that and put it in our marketing materials.
Yeah, so, the thing is, we're gonna talk about. We've got a great show coming up. But I mean, this noble cause thing. I don't want to put too fine a point on it, but I do. But it's not only good for you mentally, because you're doing something more important than just getting up and going to work every day.
Yeah.
And then it's also important for your employees because especially them, they're getting up, going to work every day and grinding it out. And
you got to give them a mission. Why are they getting out of bed?
Yeah. It's like having a good enemy. That's important too. We should do a show about that.
Yeah.
Right. But it's
like
also
the flip side of this coin for sure.
It's also really good for your vendors to talk about and to get them on your side, and you're fighting for something. You're doing something good.
You're part of the mission together.
Yeah. And then lastly, but certainly not least, it's good for your customers. You should be sharing your noble cause in your marketing material, your website, whatever it is. That's how you get above we're the cheapest and the best, because everybody thinks, of course they're going to say that, but they're, that's
but what, how, like,
stakes.
That's, you're going to say that, but you need people to come to that conclusion on their own.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. My take on it. So we'd love to hear what is your noble cause, or if you don't have one and you want help, feedback at businessbrain.show. If you can't tell, I get a little excited. I love talking about this stuff because it really works. It worked for me.
I didn't set Shannon up with this. Like I didn't even think about it until we were halfway through the episode of like actually doing a live workshop. So you heard it happen live, and we will do the same thing for your business too. Yeah. So absolutely. Like he said, feedback at businessbrain.show. You can also call or text us at 567-274-6977. We'll put that link in the show notes, and keep living that charmed life. We'll see you on Friday.